I'll put those in the order that I put them in. I like to lay the boards up the way they're going to go in as well. Just keeps it simple. We've got the Type 1 Ultimate for the ultimate experience. It probably won't come off. There we go. There's a piece of Reba. We'll give it a treat, shall we? Because Reba is quite brown, using a brownish glue may help. Can you see that? So we're just going to give it a little rub, and already there.
You don't rub it going first.
Sorry?
You don't rub the joint.
I'm rubbing it now. So put the packer in.
The purpose for rubbing it,
Just spreads the glue, levels it out,
thank you.
and also will give you the correct sort of thickness. Ensures then that we've got both faces covered.
Pushes the air into it.
Pushes the air around, yeah. Now that's it. And glued up board. Simple as that. So this is the sort of things that you can make yourself if you don't have expensive clamps. Not too expensive. If you don't want it, you can always turn it over and use the back for something else. Okay. And you can just press that down. Yeah, that's quite good. Good. Okay, this is a bit rubbishy wood, but we can cut it off afterwards. And I've got a face there that I just ran through the saw, one way and one the other. So that should put that together. You can put that up to the light. Obviously with the thicker boards, it's quite easier to join together. I'll use a cheap PVA on this one. Use that. Any questions about how we're applying it? It's a bit thicker. And this is my glue scraping chisel. Chinese one. It's quite good for that. We will get a little bit of squeeze out this time, so I can see it's a bit thicker. A little bit thicker. Actually get quite a bit of squeeze out. That's a fact I might take a bit of that off.
There's a cheaper glue, Tim.
It is.
What would you not use it for?
Well, anything that's going to go outside or anything that you... And most of the modern PVA glues, they're all pretty strong when it comes to gluing up side grain or face grain. It's just some of the adhesives, especially the epoxies, are much better at gluing end grain and more difficult timbers. Yes, that was a very heavy-handed. Fortunately, being water-based, it'll wash off. Give it a rub again. You can really feel that beginning to adhere. There's lots of ways of clamping. I like to start in the middle and work out. Some people like to start one end and work down the other way. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And let's leave that now. And that's that. And resistance temptation of these clamps can go this way and stand them at. The problem if you do that, and the glue runs across. If you stand them up vertically, this way. And then the glue runs down and it just makes a thicker bead. Good. Right. Put that away and then get your biscuit joint out. I'll put my chips on. So what we're going to do the vacuum's on auto. Now because this is the reference end, I'm going to leave it set on the same 0 setting. So that's it, I'm going to mark that with the number 1. Because the next one I'm going to change it a bit more wobbly. So there we have dominoes. We got a 1 and a 1. So
I can see there's going to be trouble around here. You guys don't keep the cups around here.
What a few of you did.
Bit more training here, Bob.
perfect. Yeah, I mean, great machines. I was dead keen to buy one. Those who are not sure, they're invented by Hermann Steiner of the Lamello Joinery Company in Switzerland in 1952. This is a Ryobi. And normally you have a fence that drops over, so you can locate them either from the base or from the top. So you work from the bottom up or the top down, according to the thickness of the material. And some of them used to have a fence that will go right over to 135 degrees, which is very handy if you're doing miters and you want to come over from the back. The problem with doing a miter from the face is it's difficult to locate where you want it on the underface. It's much easier to locate it from the sharp face. It gives you easier location point. That's locking it, that's unlocking it. Biscuit joints are very useful for joining fairly thin stock. The problem with the Domino joint is the smallest size they have is 4mm and it's 10mm. So if you've got anything below 12mm, it won't work. The Domino joint is just too big for it. But for thin stuff, the biscuits are much better because the biscuits are much smaller. About 2mm thick, yeah, and they're created. You see, I'll just pass one round for those of you who haven't seen a biscuit. I think they're made out of compressed beech. You'll see they have like a waffle face on them. The beauty of that is that when you put water-based PVA glue on them, they expand and they hold very tightly. So it's a very good location for that. But they're very good for locating. And we can see how it works. We put a slot in each piece and that goes in and that will locate the two faces. So you don't have to worry about lining them up. This is one of the alignment methods. It allows us to easily align two faces. Well, a bit from the end, put one about here, stick one in the middle, and I'll stick one about here. That's it. Right, so we can get it going and set the height. So this material, let's get the rule out. That's 20mm. I reckon that's about 10mm to centre line. It seems to be a common thickness. So in this instance, we could locate from the face on a flat board and go up, which we'd have to have them inverted. This is now a ruler. Marks and just pushing it until we hit the stop because it's already set on 20, which is the depth of the close, and you get the lateral movement by just sliding them up and down. Yes, not bad. It's flush. All the biscuits do provide alignment in this plane, which would be the Y plane, and a little bit of adjustment you've got on the X plane. You're familiar with X and Y axes? Yeah, it sounds complicated, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, the Y is the up, the X is the along, which is the along. So that lines it up. Okay. The idea of the biscuits is they allow you alignment, so the two planes are aligned, the two faces are aligned. This may not be aligned so much because we were referencing off this face. This was the reference face and the show face. We're not too bothered about butt face, that was because that's a scruffy edge, but that aligns it up. Okay? I think that's about all for the heart session, wasn't it?
Yeah, good one, Tim.